We're so excited. We're here with Walter Masterson. He creates satirical social street interviews and political pranks. His appearances have included rallies, protests, school board meetings. He sometimes adopts right-wing personas, such as MAGA Republican or supporter of Donald Trump. Welcome to the show! Welcome to Breezes!
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you on.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a question right away. Sorry.
Do it. Run.
So I've been paying attention to your social media for a really long time. I really appreciate the work that you're doing. I have to tell you, Walter, you go into these situations and you're speaking with these people, and I legitimately have anxiety on your behalf, and I get worried about your personal safety.
Do people say that a lot, that they have anxiety?
Oh, yeah. No, people have said that. I have a problem with, like, that's sort of my thing of, I usually tell people that tag along as, like, if you see me start to worry, then it's a huge issue. You should panic.
Right.
Because I sort of have this very weird, like, oh, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when it's bad, I'm like, all right, you got to go. If you see me worrying, just run.
Just the safety for the people that are with you.
Do you ever, though? Because here's the thing. I think that when we are talking about MAGA people, a lot of them come across to me anyway as absolutely unhinged and a little on the wrong side of crazy and sort of quick to violence, right? And you are out there putting a mirror in front of them if they get it right away, because sometimes they're too stupid to understand what you're doing. But when they finally maybe get an idea that you're coming for them, what is because we're seeing a couple of clips on social media, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have like the big picture of what's happening. What is their reaction? What do they say to you? What do they want to do to you? Do you ever feel like, shit?
There's been a few times when I've said, okay, like there's been one time I was getting kicked out of a city hall.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting kicked out of a town hall in Springfield, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was, remember they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats?
Yeah. I'm Haitian. I remember that very well.
My producing partner and I went there and spoke at the town hall as members of the J.D. Vance campaign. We believe in the American dream over at the J.D. Vance campaign. And in order to achieve that dream, we need to stop other people from that dream.
Oh, God.
And we leaned all the way into it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how did you prepare for that? Did you dress a certain way? Were you?
I had on my Heritage Foundation hat, and we came there, and it was actually pretty funny. So the part that went wrong was I was supposed to give a speech. Then my producing partner was supposed to give a speech.
Right.
I was a primer. His was absurd. So way over the top, right? Just absolute nonsense. So then they switched the order so that he went first. Then I went.
Oh, no.
And so right on top of each other, and I go, oh, wow, okay, this kind of screws things up, but okay, roll with it.
Yeah.
And they tossed us after our speeches. And I remember telling the police officer, I said, I mean, since you're throwing me out, can you just walk us to our car? I mean, you're going to escort me out of the building anyway. You know, the car is 50 feet away. I remember the police officer was like, sure, because people were furious.
Yeah,
sure.
People were
and
really
it was
mad.
And it was the perfect storm of furious because I had MAGA people that knew I was making fun of them, absolutely furious at me. Then I had people that were somewhat progressive that thought I was from the J.D. Vance campaign, and they were furious with me. And then I had people that they were just furious. Like, hey, you know what? You're coming here.
We're just mad because everyone's mad.
You're mocking our town. You don't live here. You're coming here to make fun of us. And I had just managed to upset every demographic in that town simultaneously.
Walter,
And
I was so worried.
And I remember we get in the car, and my producing partner's like, I'm like, so anyway, and he's like, go, come on. And he's like, and then we're like running red lights. Like, he's like, do not take your foot off the gas until
just
like,
to get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Walter, you're often like behind enemy lines.
Right.
What I love about all your videos is that you always have a backup. Like you have like 3 or 4, you do it in waves. Like you start making a toast, then someone else makes a toast. It's never just like
defiance,
one person. Yes, exactly. So like the Lee Zeldin video.
I'd like to propose a toast to Lee Zeldin for just destroying our access to clean air and clean water.
What's next? Ghislaine Maxwell for the Women's Empowerment Summit.
I'm from Long Island. That was my former representative. Yeah.
And it was so ironic. The New York Cancer Society, which for the record,
love.
they do great work.
Right.
Yes.
They're curing cancer. They have a person speaking at their charity function that is going to be responsible for giving thousands of people cancer unequivocally. That is not that he is opening coal plants, deregulating air restrictions, water restrictions. I mean, you can put feces in water now, thanks to him. I mean, just across the board. And he is speaking at the New York Cancer Society.
Right.
Unironically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and so that was through
on?
that was through Climate Defiance. We bought out a bunch of those seats and planned it out. If anyone wants to do what you see in that video, just contact Climate Defiance. You can get in with them.
Wow.
They're always looking
Quick
for...
shout out to Climate Defiance if you want to get involved. We were just talking before this segment about like what people can actually do to get involved, because you are probably all the way at this end of the spectrum of involvement. And there's a lot of people who are at the opposite end of the spectrum who are not involved at all.
Getting involved makes it feels better.
It does. I will say as people who are involved, it feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the danger, not really a danger, but for me, like, you get involved, but am I involved enough? Right? Like, what's enough? What's enough for Walter? Is enough for Michael? Is enough for Melissa?
I go through that all the time.
You're like, could I be doing more?
Could I be doing more? And then to the average person, it's a lot, but to my peer group, it's like, I mean, are we? What more is there to do? And am I doing enough? Am I making a difference, or am I just shit posting on the internet?
Right.
I go through that too, like especially as like immigration law cases get overturned or people get deported. Cases I've worked on for years, the person ends up getting deported anyway. I go through this cycle of like, did I actually fucking make a difference? I had a client who I worked with him for, I think like a year. It was the trial. And after we won, he OD'd and died within a month. And I was like, did I fucking do anything? Like, did I actually like make a difference here? And it's like, it was just like something that I had to go through as I was sort of grieving
I think he
that.
did. I mean, it's tragedy, obviously, that he died that way, but you did really good work for him. That part of it is not on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I wasn't like, oh, this is on me. I was this is... For me, I came away from it and I was like, I did this thing. I was swinging hard for someone who no one ever swung for him before. So that I came away from it and I was like, okay, we went down swinging. I gave him what probably very few people have given him in his life, which is like a second chance or third or whatever. I don't know. I still have like complicated emotions around it, but like
that hits me because I'm sober. I've been sober for over a decade.
Wow!
So
congrats.
Yeah, and there's probably good reason that I don't do it. I don't drink or drug, and I used to. So I'm reformed. And that's part of what radicalized me is.
So that I was going to ask you. So what made you turn into this person? Like, who were you before?
Just seeing how the criminal justice system treated me versus someone else. Right, seeing the documentary about the Central Park Five. And
great documentary.
Because I lived probably 20, maybe 25 blocks from the Central Park Five. I grew up 25 blocks away. That's not far.
No.
However, I thought about the differences. I am white, come from a middle-class family.
Yeah.
The cops treated me, and I did the same nasty stuff that they did, you accuse them of being hooligans and doing this and
Right.
that. I looked at all that and said, I this is nothing compared to what my friends and I did.
Oh,
yeah.
And would get arrested by the police. Like we earned it. It was through merit.
To arrest a white boy in Manhattan.
We got there through merit. And this is this is as kids, and it was very inconsequential type of trouble. Then I saw what they went through versus myself, and that flipped a switch.
I was going to say, was that your primary experience with the criminal justice system? Just as a lawyer who does a lot of defense work, what was your experience like? Was it mostly through policing, or was it the DA, or was it with sentencing? What was your sort of relationship to it as you?
And I could just see, well, first off, my family had means to support me.
Yeah. That's
huge. I saw the difference when I would hang out and get in trouble with my friends that were not white. So I remember they always went were like this around the cops, yes, officer, yes, officer. And I would always mouth off. I remember we walking through the park one time and I was just being mouthy. Cops are there hey, park's closed. And my black friends are like, yes, sorry, officer, sorry. And I'm like, it's okay, officer, they're with me. And then I remember the cop car, just full speed,
of course,
stop, throws everyone against the car.
Yep.
And then the cop's like, oh, do you want to, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you correctly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my friends are getting cuffed and they're like, bro, you gotta dial that back.
It's really interesting though. So obviously I grew up as a Black woman, but I remember being in high school with some white friends and we were going into the Genovese and my friend decided to shoplift and immediately I was like, I cannot be a part of this at all.
Was your friend white?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know how I know the first and the last name, but I won't say it. But
Genevieve was already a deep cut to the 90s.
Sure.
Genevieve, bring her back.
Yeah.
Love Genevieve.
But there was this feeling of I'm going to just leave because I can't be anywhere near you because I know that
you'll be the one who gets
they're
blamed.
watching me. They're watching me. There's this feeling and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go. You go ahead and shoplift your
So you played the decoy.
Tan. Oh. No, I left.
No, it's actually funny because I remember one time I was accused of shoplifting when I was not.
Meanwhile, every other time you were.
And I was like, every other time. The one time that I was not doing crime. I was and I remember just being furious. And I was like, if that happened to me more than once, God damn it. Something I had paid for that they were like, you did not pay for that. And I was like, excuse me? And they ran up on me and everything. And I was like, and I'm like,
how dare you?
And I was like, I am furious. Imagine if this happened to me more than once, if this is a regular occurrence. I would, because I was like, I was a 10 at that moment.
Right. The way that we sort of relate to crime. I just think it's just so interesting to me as someone who just studies it, and then I have to be in the world around it. What gets policed and what doesn't get policed, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're constantly talking about that on this show and what I get away with as a white man in a suit walking past a security guard that other people don't. As you're sort of approaching this, I mean, you're creating these videos. You touched on it a little bit. What is the positive outcome that you have seen? I think it's important for people to see. We're trying to give hopeful messages on this show, any opportunity we can, where you do this, what I find to be hilarious work. You're a stand-up comic, you've got an improv background. You go into these situations, you create these videos that are just very entertaining to watch. What has there been a changed mind or a shift that you've witnessed or something that you have seen from doing this work that you've come away with as it being a positive experience for you?
Yeah, I think it's more people are brought into the fold and I try to do something very sensational. It's very sensational. It's funny.
Yeah.
I try to be funny. And it's something and it's something that there are people that contact me saying that they've gotten more involved.
Love it.
Because sort of made it humorous.
Yes.
Just made it. Yeah. And they weren't really paying attention prior. And then, so that was the hope of, most people aren't really paying attention, or most people are sort of overloaded. And I always look for like, what's the new medium to sort of deliver this information? And so it's like, all right, I could say that David Rubenstein is a climate criminal, or I could say it at a charity benefit where he's the main guest of honor. And I say it to a room of 300 to 400 people amidst dead silence.
Right.
And, and then, and I film it. And then people are like, oh, David Rubenstein, climate criminal, private equity, public enemy. Got it. Right. And then it's versus me just saying that to camera.
Right.
There are other people are very eloquent with that and can make an impact. I try to do better in that regard.
Right. I mean, I think Michael and I were talking about this before. It's like you have this certain skill set, right? This is what you're really good at. And this is something that you are passionate about. You worry about it. So you're taking your skill set, you're taking your talent, and you're making it so that now other people become aware of it, right? Yeah. And they'll figure out what they can do. But this is what you do. Yeah. Yeah.
So I had someone that came up to me and told me that they were radicalized by my video where my friends and I disrupted and shut down Andrew Cuomo's press event.
Good for you.
That felt good.
Good for you. Yeah. I saw that video. I love that. I'm such a Cuomo hater, so please.
Oh yeah, no, that was lovely. It was just, we showed up, we outnumbered him, we outnumbered his staff, we outnumbered his supporters, we outnumbered the press.
It was a really small event. It was like this, like in New York, if you're watching this and you're not in New York, they do these little like pop up, oh, I'm at a school. I think it was at a library or something.
No, it was in front of a school.
Yes.
And I showed up with a printout from the Board of Education saying that he did not have consent to use this school
to campaign in front of.
And country are collapsing.
This is the email from the Department of Education saying they don't have permission to be in front of the school or inside the school. And his campaign grabbed me first. And then meanwhile, there's 6, 7, 8 people already in front of him that they didn't recognize, that they were like they thought.
I remember that you really outnumbered like his staffers.
Yeah, and it was live on Fox Now. So for just 10 minutes, he was just getting dogged mercilessly. The thing that he came there to talk about didn't get addressed at all, and I was like,
not at all.
That's great.
That's a win.
He was there to talk about defunding public education,
right?
And that didn't get talked about. I was happy. I'm like, great.
But you talked to the winner of that race. You talked to Mamdani recently.
Yeah, I talked to him. It's funny. I got to interview him right before he became a phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was really kind of just this kind of inside baseball where I'm like, I interviewed him, I posted the video and didn't go anywhere. People were like, whatever, bro. Like,
but then it comes back later.
Yeah.
There's always that like resuscitation on the internet.
Yeah. Then
when someone gets.
Then he becomes a phenomenon a month later, and I was like, oh, cool. I got this. I felt good. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not just riding the wave. I was,
no.
I was there.
You were there.
You were there blowing
there.
up the DMs before the videos went viral. Yeah.
So that was nice. And it has been refreshing to speak to him, to where he gives clear, concise answers that address what you asked. He's not afraid of his own ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like the Democratic Party at large is terrified of their own ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, think about it. Healthcare, housing as a human right, water as a human right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
environment.
And,
education,
education, all this stuff. And they are terrified of their own platform.
Actually implementing that platform, right? We see Governor Hochul all the time just sort of, I'm going to do this big, bold thing, and then dials it back a couple weeks later.
Yeah, and then just says something very milquetoast, homogenous,
mealy-mouthed kind of answer.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, you get Trump and his crew coming in saying we should deport every Somali, not Somali immigrants, just Somali,
everyone.
Just and there is a level to which you're like, you know what? Nothing matters anymore. Right. They're going to call you just say what you believe. They're going to call you a communist. Anymore. They're going to accuse you of trying to make everyone trans, and you're Soros backed. And they're just going to say this anyway. you're automatically an Israel hating, Palestinian loving communist that wants to open our borders.
Right.
And, just lean into it.
Do you see like a ripple effect of that? The fact that Mamdani did not back down from his platform and full chested was like, you know what? These are the 3 things I'm going to do no matter what anyone says. Yeah. And he stuck with that and he's still sticking with it, I think.
I know. And think about this. So think about if he had lost.
Right.
If he had lost, what would be happening right now? Forget the fact, yes, Cuomo would be the mayor. If he had lost, the entire Democratic Party would take a harder right turn.
Again, and there would be a progressive ideals.
Yes. Yeah. It would be a mandate. It would basically, the mandate would be progressivism loses elections. You'll even lose in New York.
But if he did lose, it would mean, that any progressive ideal is a campaign killer. That we have to stay centrist. That we have to stick to
their narrative
the party line. Yes, exactly. Because, it didn't work with Kamala, so therefore we have to go further and further.
They run these very establishment campaigns, very uninspiring campaigns.
Yep.
Everyone else has to do the work of spreading the message because they're just terrible at this. And then when they lose, the number one talking point is, well, they were too progressive. And they're saying this about people that are, it's like hurts my brain to call Biden a communist, to call Kamala a communist. And I'm like,
Kamala was a prosecutor for 20 years.
He's sort of establishment Joe Biden, who's like been part of the government since the
famous
Earth Corps.
Marxist.
Yeah.
Famous Marxist Joe Biden. Stuff like that. And so that to me is, in the past year, I used to be like, yes, we hate MAGA, we hate Trump. In the past year, I'm like, you know what? I can open that tent to the Democratic Party.
Sure, you can.
My hatred of MAGA. I can fit the Democratic Party in that tent too.
Yeah.
It's a big tent.
It's a big tent, and they're so fucking disappointing. They're so disappointing. It's actually it's like kind of sickening. It's like you guys aren't standing for anything.
Yeah, and just for the record, it's the off season. If there was an election 2 weeks from now, I would be saying, hey, oh my God, have you seen Gavin Newsom's new meme? He just released a new meme. Oh my God, it's a new meme. And Nancy Pelosi, such a girl
we love
boss.
her. Oh man,
yes, queen, girl boss.
Yes,
Hillary Clinton,
Diva
Nancy
Hillary
Pelosi
is back on the scene.
Oh my God, yeah. Girl boss. Yes,
now
queen.
that we are in the
feminist
icon. Now is the time to apply.
We can talk shit. Yeah. When the election's 2 weeks from now, I'll be like, oh my God, yay.
We'll have you back on right before the election.
And we'll all be like, oh my God.
We love the Democratic establishment. Chuck
Bill
Schumer,
Clinton,
get in here, honey.
Chuck Schumer, just a breath of air, right?
Jeffries, love you,
oh my
babe.
God, Jeffries, you see that picture with him? He's holding a baseball bat.
Baseball is the truest American sport.
He was holding a baseball bat.
Beautiful. Land of the free.
Kittens. He's fostering kittens.
It was just, oh my God, yeah.
Okay, so was there anything in the news cycle? We're sort of trying to cover a little bit more of like the news cycle as we come into the studio on
we were talking
Mondays.
about Puffy before.
The Diddy documentary this weekend.
That's right.
Oh man, okay.
So just some random tea. This is unverified and stuff like that, but it's like my own personal experience is if you're part of the club scene in the aughts,
country club,
or the teens, the nightclub scene in New York City, during that time, anyone that I would meet would talk about how Diddy loved to get filleted by men, and it was a power thing. Anyone would explain that to you, and it was such a pervasive thing that I ignored it because I hate these like black rumors of like black men. They're all DL,
right?
And it was something like, oh, stop it, like, right? Because it would always come with other stuff. However, everyone that like went out regularly to clubs had some connection with Diddy. They all repeated this. They were like, oh yeah, no, and they all were very clear that it wasn't about sexuality. It was about like power. It was power based, and he liked big men to like get on their knees and submit to him. That was a very, it was like almost like an open secret.
It was, Well, I mean, like the Cosby rumors were around for
forever,
decades before there were any actual accusers or
Right.
court cases.
Right.
Yeah, open secret, stuff like that.
But the documentary is out now.
Yeah.
And 50 Cent is out on the media circuit.
Oh yeah, he's on that junket.
And
the
he's
record,
doing interviews on ABC.
We don't like him.
This is a guy
MAGA.
who does not, he's MAGA. He probably has really awful opinions about the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
And he's doing a documentary talking about
his nemesis.
Yeah, about like,
and he's
interviewing people that came forward with essay allegations,
right,
and how we should believe them. And I guarantee you, if Diddy wasn't his nemesis, he wouldn't be believing any of these people. So let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, this is not somebody who's doing this for the greater good to put the information out there.
No, it's because
he hates him, and he's just like, you know what? I'm going to take the stuff that we already know, and I'm just going to fan the flame of this, right?
Yeah.
And also, like, his career isn't like. I haven't heard him on the radio.
But what do we think about this though? Because this is like an ethical conundrum, right? Because ultimately, these essay survivors are getting FaceTime. Their stories are being told. It's being told by a hater. He's playing it on ABC so that Diddy can watch it in prison because ABC plays on prison televisions. Like there is that piece, right? Of like 50 Cent is a hater and a MAGA supporter and doing this for all the wrong reasons. But the outcome is actually supporting
I'll take it.
These women's voices, right? Like I'm like,
right.
I'll take the win where I can get it, I guess. It's like how I'm like, if we're just like, when are we gonna, it's never gonna be perfect.
Right. If we're waiting for the perfect messenger, right? There is no perfect messenger. And this is information it's important and people are interested in it. If it's coming from
CJ, throw up a photo of 50 Cent, just his wide smile in the ABC interviews because he's absolutely delighted to be talking about this on camera where he knows.
It's almost, what's the word? Like, it's so unseemly. His joy at this is like unseemly, right?
Yeah.
Like, we all know that they hated each other, right? So this is not somebody who's just like, I just thought it was really important that everybody knew about this. This is just like, I hate this motherfucker. And that's because that's what it is. It's like, I hate him and I want him to know that I hate him and I want everybody else to know this is how much I hate you. I hate you so much that I am willing to invest my own time and resources into this documentary that is going to sort of further chop you up into bits. But the flip side about it is that he deserves it, right? So it's like this weird place.
And it's a shame because prior to these essay allegations, this is going to sound very weird. Just I am not condoning his essay allegations. I don't like Diddy. Okay. And this is a very left-handed compliment to him. Let's just say left-handed compliment is that he was an inspirational figure because he was an incredibly mediocre person that was hugely successful. I mean, not the best music producer.
No.
Not the best rapper.
No.
Horrendous actor. Horrendous. However, this is a man who, had multiple hit records, owned his own label, terrible clothing designer, owned his own successful clothing line. And he was the lead on a Broadway show. God, I looked at that and I thought, I mean, you could be anything. This is a mediocre human being.
Let that inspire you.
That
he can do that. Reba McEntire can have a lip gloss line with no upper lip. Like don't let these things stop you from succeeding, from moving from Melissa's hand.
Reba McEntire, famous for not essaying anyone.
Reba, this one goes out to you.
Yeah, just you can have all the lip liner.
Here's your last chance, fancy. Don't let me down.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. But yeah, incredibly mediocre, driven human being that just reached new
Don't let
heights.
Mediocrity stand in the way of your dreams.
Yeah, I think that's what we should show that to kids.
That's the takeaway?
No, it's stitched onto it like a cross stitch on the pillow at my therapist's office.
Yeah, be like, listen, you can, go for your dreams, kids. I mean, if this mediocre man,
you can also be
could reach
talentless,
sites-
and you too could become president of the
complete-
United States of America.
There are all sorts of conspiracies.
Oh, and just for the record, Diddy helped Elon Musk buy Twitter. So I feel like people forget
famously
that.
good for society.
Yeah, so
Billionaires
I mean,
owning.
if you're thinking,
the
I mean,
media.
what good did Diddy do? I mean, he helped Elon Musk, President Musk, buy Twitter, and it was just so. I mean, let's I think we need to all remember
I'll just
that
never
Diddy was
forget-
good friends with Trump, good friends with Elon,
Mm-hmm.
Photos of
and
him at the
good
White
friends
House.
with the worst people.
I just remember that first day of Twitter when just every slur was back
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all over Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite conspiracy theory? Is there like a conspiracy theory that you're like, this one
There's
is...
so many. How do you pick?
I think Luigi didn't do it. That's my conspiracy.
Oh,
I don't
I mean,
think that's
is that
him in
even
the
a
photo at
conspiracy?
McDonald's. That's not him at McDonald's.
I mean,
It's
we
a
don't
different
even
person.
know what happened that day, really.
I know.
If you look at the photos, I'm like, this is
mean-
not the same person. Like, what is happening?
Do we even care?
I mean, yeah. I mean, my favorite conspiracy is the bullet diary that Kash Patel's FBI leaves behind.
Oh,
at
yes.
every active murder scene. I mean, we all remember
I've heard about
that
this.
episode of Law and Order where they go to an active crime scene and they tweet out all of the evidence, confirmed and unconfirmed, onto
I
the
don't
internet
remember
within
this episode.
minutes.
What
And
is-
there's bullets with just bullet diaries everywhere.
There's
Like, I did it. Nancy Pelosi, we love her. Chuck Schumer, King. Right on the bullet. Right on the bullet. And then with a text message too. Thanks to Kash Patel's FBI.
tweeted that out.
Yeah, and they just and it goes out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Forget waiting for detectives to corroborate this.
Right, to do a full
or
investigation.
file
Just
it,
put it all out
or
there.
even to file
Right.
it and log it into evidence. I mean, who needs that?
Are you a Law and Order fan? There's a show on this network that does recaps of Law
I was
and Order
actually
episodes.
on. Fun fact, I was actually on Law and Order SVU.
Okay, pull up the clip. Pull up the clip, CJ.
Were you a victim? Were you the perpetrator? Were you a witness?
I was
On the show, please be clear.
I was
Not in real life.
no, on the,
Yes.
on the show on SVU, yes, not IRL. No, it was one of these things. It's one of those things where they happen upon someone who's doing something questionable,
Mm-hmm.
but this is not the actual criminal. So the cops just sort of go like, you know what, whatever you're doing, this is
We don't really
garbage.
care about
But
that.
you know
yeah.
what, like we have an essay crime to solve here, but you're an asshole. It's one of those scenes. Season 10, episode 1.
Love it.
It was with Luke
Did that
Perry.
that
and-
paycheck hit hard? I love it.
Oh, that was back before streaming was pervasive.
Mhm.
Are you still getting royalty checks?
I got royalty checks, tons of them when
That's
there was more
syndication money?
syndication.
Yeah.
Because people would say, "Oh, I saw you on Law and Order," and I go, "What channel? What network?" And they go NBC, and I'd go, "Oh yeah,
Give me that.
give me that.
Give me that syndication
I'm getting a full
money.
day's pay
Yes.
again."
Mhm.
Versus, then they'd say, "Oh, I saw it on Netflix," and I go, "Oh,
No, it's not-
get away from me."
Why did you even watch it?
Like how-
Stream it on YouTube. I'll get paid more.
like I knew I would get like something, like maybe like several $100s if it was
Yeah.
on USA, TNT, or on Marathon
Mhm.
versus
Netflix.
Netflix. I'd be like, oh god damn it!
Is there something you want to plug on the show?
Come join me on my stand-up tour. I'm going through DC, Boston, Phoenix, Colorado, San Francisco, San Diego, and join me. Just see me IRL.
Well, and-
I'm really funny.
Oh, you are hysterically
I'm really funny. I make people laugh.
Funny people famously have to beg you to believe they're funny.
Yeah, that's this
Famous.
comedy is good comedy is when you have to explain the joke right afterwards
It's beautiful.
because it went over everyone's head. Yeah,
There's a lawsuit we covered in law school, just real quick, shout out, where there was a joke about a contract where you like got a plane if you got enough PepsiCo tickets. It's like a famous lawsuit. And the judge and the clerk had to explain the joke of the commercial. It just ruined the whole thing.
Oh God.
It was great. Anyway.
Oh my God, wait, I want to know that.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
So wait, Walter, you have a website, right?
Yeah. So
Okay, and
WalterMasterson.com.
Yeah, so we'll plug it.
Yeah, where you can get tickets.
And then you'll find where you can get tickets and everything on your website. Amazing.
But you were in Chicago and Portland, or just one for the ice race?
Crazy. So I made a comedy tour before Trump decided to send National Guard into all of these cities and ice. And so I went to Chicago, Portland.
Yeah.
I went to Philly and then also Seattle. And while I was there, I went to the ICE facilities.
Yeah.
And spoke to activists. And basically, Chicago, I think, has it the worst because it's not targeted in, I mean, listen, the white supremacist playbook is to put it in certain areas and disperse it,
right?
In certain areas so that the neoliberals can go like, what? Like, we're not,
Right.
So it's not like that in Chicago. It's everywhere all the time.
Right.
And it is just a hellhole with regards to that because parents do not feel safe letting their children walk alone to school. If they're Black, if they're walking next to someone that is not white,
Wow.
it is like, hey, you know what? You're going to be stopped. You might be kidnapped. You'll be swept up with someone else. So they don't let children walk to school. There's tons of organizations that walk children to school and stand there during pickup. Portland, very similar to
We're going
that.
to list those organizations so that you can support them.
Yeah. Like there's very small mutual aid, Pilsen Community Defense, and great ones that just are they're only known in the community. Portland is insane as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, that ICE facility has snipers standing on the roof at night, purely for intimidation. No one is trying to break into this facility. They are nasty and they're just behave like they're completely above the law. And I'm saying this, any Democrat that wants to run for office that says that they're going to reform ICE and do this, I'm like, no, this is an agency that needs to be completely eradicated.
Right.
You cannot reform these people. These people joined to behave like complete
Yeah, and
thugs.
Right. And it does seem to me like, when you're sort of like getting a picture of the kind of person who's like, all right, this is what I'm going, this is my calling, right? I'm going to be a part of ICE. It's, when I think about it, it is the person that you went to high school or elementary school who was like the bully, who like never really amounted to anything.
It's the divorcee incel.
It's like, and this is their opportunity to shine, right? Because they're not really good at anything. So I'm going to do this. And it gives me an opportunity to be a bully. I'm a professional bully. I'm getting paid for it. And it's like, it sort of amps themselves up when they were like,
it gives them purpose.
Yeah. And they were probably like living in their mother's basement, not doing anything. And now they're like important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
they're getting a signing bonus. They're getting a full salary.
Right.
None of that signing bonus is going towards child support payments at all.
Right.
And just, like,
confirmed. Fact check it. Confirmed.
Yeah, come on, put that, signing bonus towards child support payments.
Yeah.
Your kid's 529 fund.
Yeah, like, come on. But that was the case when I had visited ICE facilities and spoken to people on the ground in the communities there. I mean, Chicago, Portland, I think are the absolute worst.
Yeah.
In terms of, and on top of that, you have tons of MAGA grifters showing up to those facilities.
Yeah.
I saw you talking to some of them. I saw
to make content and be like, look at,
look at how great this is.
Yeah, and they show up with the "Don't Tread on Me" hats.
Yep.
So the only people with a "Don't Tread on Me" flag are counter-protesting. You have a Gadsden flag. I thought the "Don't Tread on Me" should be on the other side. You're counter-protesting with a Gadsden flag.
There's one video I'm speaking to a guy. I'm like, you're wearing a Gadsden flag hat. You cannot. That is literally states' rights, states' rights, states' rights. Don't tread on me. Let the states decide.
Right.
This is the opposite of letting the states decide.
Exactly it. This is you don't know what that means. You just like the snake chopped up image. You don't know what that actually means or what it's from.
They don't know what it means. Yeah. They don't know what it means. And I mean, and I wonder, do they even realize how stupid they are?
I honestly think that it's more of like, we voted for this. This is exactly what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not interested in debating or being consistent. They're in a position right now where they can say, listen, this is what I want. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to, play into some consistency with you about this. This is exactly what I want. I don't care that I have rights and they don't. I want the, 5th and 14th Amendment to apply to myself.
Yep.
And
only.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's so many blind spots with that, right? Like they voted for all of this, but did you vote for higher cost for groceries? Like, did you vote for gas prices to go up? Like, did you vote for tariffs to increase everything for cost of living has gone up? Did you vote for the lowest job numbers in almost a decade?
Well, but listen, you're losing sight of the big picture here.
Which is?
Okay, you can now say gay retard at work.
Yeah.
Right, there are two
Right.
trans
The R
volleyball
slur
players.
is all over.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two trans volleyball players nationwide that won't get to play volleyball this year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's
It's
worth
less than
the
half.
decimation of the
Sure it is.
farmlands.
Yeah.
This is the comedy you're going to get on Walter's tour. Okay?
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Get tickets, waltermasterson.com. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
I'm so
you.
glad we got a
Thank you.
chance
Yeah.
to chat today.
This was great.